Sam, let's also bring in our guest from Chicago this morning, Larry Shover, because as we hear that the Greek Prime Minister, well, I guess you could say it's a showdown, a bit of a dressing down even from leaders out of Europe. One market watcher says it's probably too late for the stability plans to actually work. Larry joins us from Chicago right now. But Larry, first on the Greek referendum, because this seems to be quite a major turning point. Quite seriously, how do you understand the motivations of that referendum when a no vote would mean basically they don't get the money and they go bankrupt?
Exactly. You know, I think it's really about the culture, something that we don't understand. Bring it to the people. Do you want this to happen or not? And the fact of the matter is their culture is so much different, and I can't imagine them embracing even the low amount of austerity measures that they're imposing right now. They'll never embrace the austerity measures, especially from another country, the ones that need to happen for them to remain solvent. So I just can't believe it. I can't believe the markets are as tempered as they are right now.
Yeah, I think I was a little bit surprised to see markets so much higher today. I guess they get together and they try to find a solution. Do you think that Merkel and Sarkozy can actually even strong-arm the Prime Minister in Greece? I don't know. Do you think they can come out and have some kind of plan for the next plan, if you like?
Yeah, no, exactly. I think there's a 1% chance that they can do that, as well-intentioned as they may be. The fact of the matter is, what they should probably do is just kick them out of the EMU right now. I know that would be cheaper to try to defend it and try to save it and this, that, and the other, but take the pain, cut the bait. There's no way that they're going to be able to talk him into this right now.
But they can't do it now, can they? Because isn't this about building the walls high enough around some of the other major countries, getting the banks ready? Even if they admit that it happens down the line, that's the point. It can't happen now, can it?
Probably not, but, you know, Brooke, think about it. Like right now they're proposing a 50% haircut, and the fact of the matter is that the haircut needs to be higher than that. And if it is higher than that, then you're going to have countries like Portugal, Italy, Spain, and the rest standing in line and say, hey, how about us? You've forgiven their debt. How about us? It's going to spread contagion no matter how you look at it, unless you just kick them out of the EMU right now.
In the meantime, though, while they're not going with that view, they're getting together this idea of this bailout fund, the EFSF. We've heard actually from China the past few hours that the Deputy Finance Minister in China saying it's too early to say whether they would actually invest any more in a fund like that, because basically they don't have any details. Does this plan depend on China?
Yes.
Can they rely on China?
Yeah, exactly. I hope they can, because maybe that's what they have up their sleeve. It'd be like a real jackrabbit response. I mean, it'd be lovely to see the IMF or China come in and say, we will put up money, because that's leverageable money, unlike the other things that they're proposing. But at the end of the day, what they're proposing is a gift to the bondholders and more tax to the taxpayers. I don't see how it's going to end up unless they can get China involved or the IMF, because it is leverageable, and let's hope for the best.
Larry, I had a question for you. I was reading yesterday that the former finance minister for Greece was suggesting that the referendum won't even proceed. Do you think that's what Merkel and Sarkozy are probably recommending to Papandreou at the moment?
They probably are recommending that, but let's see what happens. It's going to be comical, because I just can't see him bringing that to the people and having that pass. I mean, the fact of the matter is they're bucking against the austerity measures that are in place right now. Can you imagine what would happen? The social unrest in that country if they propose the austerity that needs to happen to get this place solvent. So absolutely, I can see that happening.
Larry, when we talk about this Eurozone debt crisis and these crisis meetings, we always say they're getting together to find a resolution to the crisis. I mean, what does a resolution look like for you? You obviously suggest the road is leading to a breakup, but yeah, what is resolution? How do we define resolution in such a complex issue?
Yeah, you define resolution by paying back what you owe. It's really that simple. And a lot of the countries are just going to stand in line and say, hey, you bailed them out. How about me? How about an 80% haircut for me? Let's take France down with us. What the heck? They're going to bear the brunt of all this. And the funny thing is that German citizens never wanted this whole thing to begin with. They were basically forced into this by a large majority. So I just can't believe what I'm seeing right now. I can't believe that we're embracing this. I mean, really, the outlier thing, the only thing that might work, although this would never be adopted either, is for the European Union to adopt the U.S. Model, which you'd have the countries being treated like states. But when you talk about debt transfer, talk to the average German, the actual Frenchman, they're not going to embrace this. They don't want this.
And so, Larry, back to maybe some comments that Sam made earlier about his clients looking for those safe havens. We used to find it here in Australia in the banks, and I guess there's an element of that. We can chat about that with Sam coming up. But in terms of safe havens, where you can put money if you are worried, what are you suggesting to your clients?
I still think the best thing, this is great for Australia because you guys have a better opportunity of doing it than the Americans, but get commodity trading advisor exposure. Get yourself involved with people that are investing and trading in futures contracts around the world. They're not short, they're not long. Commodities are meant to be both bought and sold, and so if you can get involved with that, that's the best way to get past all this market volatility, is to invest in a commodity trading advisor.
Any particular commodities that you think are interesting at the moment, Larry?
What I think is very interesting is copper. I can't believe it's back at $3.58 a pound. The fundamentals of it are very good. Obviously, there's a lot of outliers to keep copper down in its place, but the fact of the matter is Shanghai stocks are down, bonded warehouses stocks are down, scrap is all gone, so somebody's going to have to start buying it. I think the Chinese are coming in pretty soon, so that's where I put my money right now.
Larry Schober from Efficient Capital Management in Chicago, thank you so much. We'll see where we're at next week. Thanks.
Thank you.
From Chicago.